Hi, everybody. Welcome to the March 17th, 2017 edition of Colorado Inside Out. I'm your host, Dominic Dezzutti. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Let's get a quick take on the suddenly popular race for Attorney General of Colorado. Colorado Representative Joe Salazar announced this week that he will run for the Democratic nomination, and Boulder District Attorney Stan Garnett said he's mulling the same idea. Patty Calhoun from Westward, I had no idea that the race for Attorney General will be the one that we're talking about now. We've heard a little bit about the governor's race, which we expected, but were you surprised to hear about this race at this point?
Well, it was at least refreshing to talk about politics in Colorado as opposed to politics in Washington, D.C. You know, Stan Garnett and Joe Salazar, I mean, they would have an amazing primary. We would be talking about a lot of important issues. Salazar's really shaking things up over the legislature, and Stan Garnett, really great DA in Boulder. So,
Craig Silverman, attorney with Silverman and Levis and talk show host on KNUS. Who do you think has the edge in a primary if we see Garnett actually jump into the race with Salazar?
First of all, it's St. Patrick's Day. I had no idea. In any event, I know both these guys. This is going to be a primary to remember. I give a slight edge to Stan Garnett because he has prosecutorial background. But Joe Salazar, he will throw wild punches. He's going to be a guest on my show on April Fool's Day, and last time I looked, he led a protest against the travel ban at DIA. He called another representative a half Latino. God knows what he'll come up against Stan Garnett with, but I don't know if Cynthia Coffman is vulnerable. That's who's waiting at the end of the line.
Mm-hmm. It's a great question. We'll start that with Natasha Gardner, articles editor at 5280. So Cynthia Coffman is not term limited. She's entering in, assuming that she runs again. She will be an incumbent, and so far hasn't really encountered major problems. Should she be worried with either of these potential opponents?
Well, I think that depending on who it is, it'll be a different battle. Like Stan would bring a different sort of challenges to her than Joe would, certainly. I think the bigger question for Cynthia Coffman is whether she runs for this race or not, or whether she just tries for the governor's race, which it'll be interesting to see. I mean, she's done some interesting work during her tenure. Certainly there's plenty of people who don't like her, but she's also reached out in some unconventional ways, particularly with women across the state, trying to make some alliances. So I don't think she's as an easy target as some Democrats might like to think she is.
Mary McCarthy, round to the table, first time on the show, reporter with ColoradoPolitics.com, also a reporter for various other outlets in the area. So looking at Salazar possibly versus Garnett, I've heard some folks say that Salazar might have the edge with the Bernie wing of the Democratic Party, if again that really does exist, but seems to be popular in Colorado. Do you think that's the case? How do you think Democrats are going to divvy up for this kind of a race?
I think that's absolutely the case, and let's be clear that the reason we're talking about the Attorney General race in Colorado at this point is because of Joe Salazar. He is the force to be reckoned with in this race on a lot of levels in Colorado politics. He came to us at Colorado Politics speaking to Joey Bunch and me to give us the exclusive on his run. And it was clear from the way that he spoke and the way that he speaks really every day is that his mission is to find a way to counteract President Trump. He said that rather than running for governor, where he would have certainly stood a good chance as a powerful voice, a powerful Latino voice in the state, he thought that he could better counteract Trump's policies by running for Attorney General. He knows how to spark controversy. Certainly his comment about a half Latino was taken way out of context, totally misrepresented by the media, but he's someone who gets people talking, and he has a lot of fans out there.